Fandom Diaries, Episode 2, Day 1 in fanfiction. I have to say, this is the part of this experiment that I'm most looking forward to. I find fanfiction the most interesting of my 3 realms of choice because it's kinda weird, isn't it? I mean, take these characters and we do whatever we want with it. And people read it because they love Harry Potter so much that they don't want it to go away, and fanfiction is the only place that it really becomes something new. First place I'm going to visit is fanfiction.net, where there are currently a massive amount of Harry Potter fanfictions. I forget the number. Thousands. Many thousands. So, let's go. First day fanfiction conclusions. As I'd predicted, people take the world and the characters and they do whatever they want with them. Absolutely anything they want. And that also, as I predicted, can get a little weird. Some things you can't unsee, unread, like time travel. There's lots of time travel. That's canon. That's fine. But then when you make Harry hook up with his mom, it's not fine anymore. What I'm learning about fanfiction is there's just as much scrolling involved as there is in Tumblr, because there are thousands and thousands of stories to scroll through, and there is just as much, if not more so, specialized terms that you need to know. The authors keep their story summaries straight to the point, and that involves lots of abbreviations and terms that are very specific to the fanfiction world that I've had to look up. A very important one that I've seen around is AU, which means alternate universe. Thank you, Google. Alternate universe is when the author deviates from canon. One of the most popular AUs that I've seen is where there is no magic, which seems kind of wrong to me. Why would you take Harry Potter and get rid of the magic? But people take Harry, Ron, Hermione, and other characters, take them out of the wizarding world, into the muggle world, take away their magic, they don't know it exists, send them to regular people high school in America. So basically, fanfiction is just normal fiction. Day 2, and I'm still trying to decide if I like fanfiction or not. I've decided it's very entertaining. Some of them are good, some of them are good. There are good writers out there. It's definitely a possibility. Fanfiction gets a bad rep for its inherent strangeness of what it is. But it doesn't mean the people who write it don't write well. Most of it is questionable. There are good ones. There are good ones. I found out that I rather like to read ones where people make the ending a lot sadder than it was. So, rewrites where Harry dies, or Hermione dies, or Ron dies, or someone else rather important dies, and it's good. People are good at writing, and it's fun to read it. So, there's that. There's the good side. The bad side is still, as Day 1 suggested, that there is a lot of very strange things. Mostly, it's the pairings are kind of disturbing. I have not ventured into some of the stranger ones yet, but they are very popular. So maybe I might have to, just to see what it's all about. Um, like Hermione Snape. There's also hairy giant squid. This being said, if you see those pairings, you know it's gonna be strange. But warnings are there for a reason. This is fanfiction lesson number 1, the most important one. Warnings are there for a reason. Click carefully. Click very carefully. Then I'm also starting to think a little bit more about starting my own fanfiction, which I've always planned was going to be a part of this experiment, and regardless of my intimidation, must do it. So after reading a little more, I think I'm going to go in the AU route and really kind of make it more creative writing exercise than an exercise in conforming totally to the parameters of the Harry Potter universe, because everyone else seems to have disregarded them. So I'm going to as well. I think I'm gonna kill Harry. Probably, because I like it when that oh, no, that's bad. It's true. I like it when Harry dies at the end. So I'm gonna make that happen in my own special world. I'm also, I think, going to escalate the war to a much higher level than it reached in the books, because I've also found military fanfictions quite interesting. They're probably not very accurate, and I'm sure mine will not be, but they're cool. So after reading even more fanfiction, I confess I spent several hours doing so. It's like reading a book, only it feels nice and fuzzy and familiar because we all know and love Harry Potter, except it's not really Harry Potter, is it? I currently have a beautiful blank Word document. That is my fanfiction. Pretty proud of it so far. I opened it up and stared at it. That's progress. I don't know what I'm going to write about yet. I am going to do military and I am going to kill Harry. What I think I've decided is I'm going to write from the perspective of Ginny, because I always thought she was a pretty underdeveloped character in the novels and kind of just a prop for Harry's love life, and she never had any real personality, and I always thought she just kind of liked Harry because he was her childhood hero. So I think I'm going to take that and exaggerate it a little bit and see how Ginny faces a really horrible wizarding war that kills everyone she loves. And she never really understood it because she was just kind of in her hero worship land with Harry. I think it's going to be an interesting character study of a character I'm mostly creating and calling Ginny Weasley. That's the fanfiction way. I'll just do what everyone else does. I'll make my own person and call it someone and put a disclaimer on the top and say it doesn't belong to me. But it's gonna be fun. Not really. I'm gonna try. Yes, really. Here we go. Fanfiction progress. It's coming along. I'm at about 3,200 words right now, which I think is good. It's around where I want to be, 4,000. It's not done yet. I need to go back and fix it, and a lot of the small, large mistakes. Writing fanfiction is hard. How do 600 and something thousand people do this consistently? I'm just kind of gonna give up on it being good, because it's not gonna be good, and I just need to stop and enjoy writing it. Just enjoy it as a writing exercise instead of stressing out about it, because it should be fun. It's just Harry Potter. It's not serious. So once I can grasp that, it'll get better. It gets better. Hopefully. So it's not really a very social experience. Not yet, anyway. Maybe once I post my story, it will, and get some feedback, it'll start feeling a bit more like I'm interacting with people. But right now, not so much. No, I feel like I'm not writing about Harry Potter, since I don't really know a lot about Ginny, and I've changed everything that's happened. But at the same time, the more fanfiction that I read, the more I feel like what I'm writing is actually Harry Potter. It's currently, or it was, around 2 a.m. when I filmed this. My roommate was soundly asleep, so voiceover at a later time in effort to avoid waking her. But I had to record myself finally submitting my fanfiction on fanfiction.net. It came in at around 3,400 words. When I was reading fanfiction, always seemed extremely short, and I thought 3,000 is a nice goal for my simple fanfiction experiment. But as I was writing, I realized 3,000 words is like 5 pages long, single-spaced, and it took much longer and was a lot more effort than I anticipated, but in the end, after I got over some of the stress and pressure of putting it out there on the internet for the whole world to possibly see, it was actually pretty fun writing it. It's not my best work, but it was a good experience. So here is the moment of truth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, submit and cower, because it was scary, but nice, and finished, finally. Good job, Gianna. I'm very proud of you.
Wow, I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't.
So, final thoughts on fanfiction. It's been posted for 8 hours, somewhere in that realm, and it currently has 29 views. I don't know if that many people have read it or if they just clicked on it, but that is a much faster and larger reaction than ever received on Tumblr or on the forums. So that is fun. No one left a review, which I'm minorly relieved about, but one of those 29 people must have read it. So, mission accomplished. Fanfiction is still weird, but now it's kind of the fun kind of weird. Gonna keep reading it. I've read a lot, and I've reviewed much less but a little, and I've written a minor amount, but I am now a part of fanfiction.net. I have one story. I am one of the 679,000 pieces of Harry Potter fanfiction, and some people have seen it. So, I would mark this as a success. Mischief managed.